It's Monday, August 20th, and time for your Barbados Today Evening News Update. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. St. Michael's South East MP and Education Minister Santia Bradshaw has the full backing of her constituents as she prepares to undergo treatment for breast cancer. Last evening, an upbeat Bradshaw revealed the news at a meeting at the Parkinson Resource Center. She disclosed that the cancer, now in its early stages, is treatable and urged her constituents not to be alarmed, saying she would not let cancer beat her. When Barbados Today visited several communities in St. Michael's South East today, residents admitted that they were shocked, but all wished her a speedy recovery.
Well, when you hear about these things in life, you know, it is a little sadness there, you know. But there's nothing you can do that as a part of life. The sickness and the health.
It hurt me a little too, because a lot of things is expected, but, you know, I'm sad about it. Sorry. I'm very sorry about it. Because it could be me or anyone belong to me.
I feel shocked. I didn't even know, but I feel real bad for her. Because she's a really good person. I don't think that should happen to her.
It was quite a shock when I heard it at first. But I know she's a strong person and we're all behind her. And I wish her all the best with her health issues and stuff. But we're behind her 100%. And we're giving her our praise and best wishes.
Santia is my girl, man. Santia Bradshaw, she's my girl. I would like she to get over as soon as possible. Because I understand she's going to be all right. Santia is my girl, man. Yeah. She father before she did my good friend. I was just telling them the same thing. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear. I'm very sorry to hear, man.
The acute shortage of nurses is crippling the nation's public health sector, and the Barbados Nurses Association is turning to Health Minister Colonel Jeffrey Bostic to remedy the problem. According to the association's president, Joanna Waterman, while there were proposals in 2012 to add 89 registered nurses to the system between 2013 and 2018, that number was now inadequate. She suggests there will need as many as 120 nurses, and she will be raising the matter with Minister Bostic at upcoming talks.
In that document is all the evidence for why the establishment order needs to be expanded in order to increase the number of nursing personnel. It refers to the expanded departments, such as those within the polyclinic, where we've had increase for primary care nurses in the areas of ophthalmology, in the areas of nephrology, in the area of dermatology. We've had HIV/AIDS monitoring increase. We've had the decentralization of the HIV services on the whole. We had the opening of the David Thompson Health and Social Services Complex in John. And so those areas place greater demands on our nursing personnel for delivery of care, but the numbers of nursing staff have not increased.
Education Minister Santia Bradshaw has ordered an audit into the state-of-the-art school meals center at 6 Road, St. Philip. The former Democratic Labour Party government said the facility, which began construction in 2012, was expected to ease the woes facing staff at the school meals department and facilitate government's disaster management program. But addressing her constituents in St. Michael's South East last evening at the Parkinson Resource Center, Bradshaw revealed that the project was in a state of disgrace.
This facility that has been built up started costing us $19 million. But today, some 6 years later, is at a cost of $27 million and counting. Contractors have been paid. Architects have been paid. All the project consultants have been paid. Machinery and equipment has been ordered and is in the facility. Some of it installed, a large percentage of it not installed. The kitchen floor has not been complete, and therefore they are unable to complete the project.
The Kings of Crapova 2018 today collected their prized vehicles from MQI. Party monarch Mikey and sweet soca monarch Lil Rick both won Mazda 3 cars. Lil Rick was ready to drive home his spanking blue car, and he told Barbados Today he was still on a high after a record crop over season.
It's a good feeling. You know, I always put everything into my work and my songs and even performing, so no matter how big or small the crowd is, so it's a good feeling.
Mikey, he fell in love with his red car, but he hinted that he could be trading it in for a truck. And he's already looking to 2019, promising to produce top music.
Definitely to retain and to improve as an artist, right? I really try not to let competition be the be all and end all of everything. Is to keep the message going, to keep the vibe going, keep spreading the smiles to Barbados and the rest of the world. Smiling is a real big thing to me, and I want anytime people hear my music that they're smiling and they're feeling happy, because I think that's what music is supposed to do.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To the region now, Laventille West MP Fitzgerald Hines says he has no hard feelings towards residents in Beetham who threw dirty flood waters at him when he visited the area last week. He admitted that he felt disrespected by the assault, but said it would not stop him from serving the people.
The way I felt on that day, I didn't feel as though an MP was being assaulted or a minister was being assaulted. I felt as though a man, me, a proud man, a proud black man, was being assaulted and offended, because to throw water at me, even if it's cold and clean, is offensive, much less to throw contaminated water upon me.
Days after MP Fitzgerald Hines was forced to retreat from his constituents, he's opening up about the incident. It was during a tour of dredging works along the Beetham Highway on Saturday that Hines spoke about the behavior of the Beetham Gardens residents on that day, stating that the actions of a few does not represent all.
What you saw last week when 3 or 4 little miscreants, little misguided, illiterate miscreants decided to kick up water on myself and on someone else, while we were trying to resolve the problems of the people of the Beetham, the vast majority of them does not support that.
In fact, since the incident, he says many Beetham residents have contacted him condemning the action, but are afraid to say so publicly. And he says it was the police who, on seeing what took place, asked him to make a report.
Further afield, Pope Francis, facing several abuse crises in several countries, wrote an unprecedented letter to all Catholics today, asking each of them to help root out, quote, this culture of death, end quote, and vowing there would be no more cover-ups. In a personal letter, the Pope urged Catholics to face the crisis together and not let it tear the church apart. We get more in this report from Reuters Television.
Facing clergy sex abuse scandals in several countries, Pope Francis penned an unprecedented letter to Catholics confronting the issue. In the note addressed to the people of God, he promised that no effort will be spared to prevent abuse and its cover-up, writing, "We have realized that these wounds never disappear and that they require us forcefully to condemn these atrocities and join forces in uprooting this culture of death." While the letter called on Catholics to pray and fast, it did not outline specific policy changes. The letter also responded to a recent grand jury report in the state of Pennsylvania.
It was child sexual abuse.
Francis said that while most cases in the report belong to the past, it was clear that abuse was long ignored, kept quiet, or silenced. The Pennsylvania grand jury last week released the findings of the largest ever investigation of sex abuse in the U.S. Catholic Church, finding that 301 priests in the state had sexually abused minors over the past 70 years. A Vatican official said it was the first time a pope had written to all of the world's some 1.2 billion Catholics about sexual abuse. The letter was released as the church is facing sexual abuse scandals in a number of countries, including the United States, Chile, and Australia. It also comes days before the Pope visits Ireland, which is still reeling from its own abuse crisis.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.pb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good evening.